Being a video game hero is usually a pretty straightforward job. You destroy the bad guys, help the good guys, and collect 100 of something so you can unlock some new clothes. What you can't plan for are the unintended consequences of all your heroing. What seems like the right choice at the time can often turn out to be a worse idea than some of those outfits you unlocked. Here are 7 times we thought we were doing the right thing, but ended up making things much worse. Beware of spoilers for the following games.
The Soul Stone burns with hellfire as an eerie red glow blurs your vision. You have done what you knew must be done. The essence of Diablo is contained. For now.
In Diablo, you spent the whole game fighting the forces of a baddie called Diablo, one of the Lords of Hell and as nice a guy as you'd have to be to land that job. Diablo had spent centuries trapped in a soul stone before being freed and possessing the king's son, Prince Outbreak, upon which he filled the dungeons underneath the town of Tristram with twisted creatures based on Outbreak's nightmares. Being a hero, naturally you're going to put a stop to all that and save Tristram, which you do, right up until the point where you're standing over a defeated Diablo whose soul is once again trapped in a soul stone. Now, you might think at this point it'd be a good idea to lob that soul stone into a river or hide it somewhere no one would ever go, like the Battleborn servers. But what if someone were to find it? That's the thinking of you, Diablo's hero, who decides to wedge that soul stone into his own forehead so he can contain the evil spirit within himself and prevent anything like this from happening again. I mean, he just completed Diablo, he can handle it, right? Wrong! So wrong. Shock twist, Diablo possesses him, consumes his soul, destroys Tristram, and you become the villain of Diablo 2, unleashing a literal hell of demons on the world you meant to save. That's about as wrong as it's possible for things to go. I get that you were trying to help unnamed hero, but next time your first instinct should not be to bedazzle your forehead with artifacts that are obviously cursed. Take me, for example. I just found this ominous onyx skull in a cursed temple, and I'm definitely not going to stick it in my head. Although...
Don't.
Wasn't gonna. Although...
Alright, hand it over. Give it. Give it. Give it.
You wouldn't happen to be in the market for a home, would you? If you are, I just happen to be selling a manor located right here in Anvil.
In the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, if you mooch around the city of Anvil for long enough, you'll discover a guy called Velwyn Benurus is trying to shift a manor house on the cheap. You're a helpful hero with an eye for a bargain, so you do Velwyn a favour and take the place off his hands. A mere 5,000 gold gets you a spacious, split-level abode that, while a bit gloomy and run down, just needs a little bit of TLC. Oh, and an exorcist. That's what you get for buying a house from a guy in the pub. Deal with the supernatural infestation and you discover there's an ominous sealed room in the basement. Well, it's my ominous sealed room in the basement now. I bought it. Let's get that thing open. Like in a really dark episode of Storage Wars, you find the room is full of arcane corpsey junk. It turns out the original owner, Velwyn's grandfather Lorgren, had a penchant for necromancy and grave robbery.
The things I've done to the people of Anvil.
Still, the old bastard's looking for a shot at redemption to end his eternal torment, and all he needs is for you to reunite his skeletal hand with the rest of his remains. Being the helpful hero of Kvatch that you are, you do exactly that.
I live again.
Surprise, Lorgren resurrects as a hard-as-nails lich, and if you're us, he promptly flattens you on his way to revenge against the people of Anvil. Right, screw getting on the property ladder. I'm blowing my life savings on a high-performance sports horse.
Here's a tip for time travellers. If you get lost in time, look around for the giant statue. Whoever it's of, that's who the powerful dictator is in your current timeline. If you hit the universe with a giant statue of Guy Fieri, you've gone too far. So if you're Special Forces Captain Nate Renko, for instance, you travel to the mysterious island of Katorga 12, where old-timey Soviet forces had been doing old-timey Soviet science with volatile unstable element E99.
If only Dr. Demichev hadn't died in the fire.
From there you get flung back through time by a science explosion, where you find yourself in a massive science fire, from which you have to save a science man by the name of Demichev.
My leg is hurt. I can't walk. You'll have to help me.
You just want the moon on a stick, hey? So off you Trotsky, giving Demichev a fireman's carry out of danger to the safety of this giant Stalin head.
I almost died in there. Fortunately, he saved me.
But what's that old expression about how no good deed goes unpunished? Oh right, it's nice going, hero, now you've really gone and fudged up the timeline. Because then a wave of science washes over you and you're back in the present and the Stalin head is a giant statue of the dude you just saved, looking all evil. And here he is in the flesh.
Check your Geneva Convention handbook.
I did away with that little inconvenience years ago.
It transpires that the scientist Demichev, whose life you saved, went on to become a brutal, all-powerful dictator.
This man stepped in to lead the program after Borisov's death. He went on to lead Russia in a war for world domination. A war won using superpowered weaponry developed at Katorga 12. Today, we know him as Chancellor Nikolai Demichev, leader of the world government.
And if all the brutal dictatorship wasn't bad enough, he executes your buddy Nolan North in front of your very eyes.
Right now!
Nolan North is who voiced that character. So from then on, you're rushing around trying to correct the timeline and undo the damage.
So you see, the timeline has been altered.
By the end of the game, the ostensibly good scientist, Borisov here, has cracked the problem. He knows how to make things right.
To correct history, you must go back in time and stop yourself from saving Demichev in the burning building.
Whatever you say, my elderly Soviet science chum, if I've learned anything about travelling through time, is that actions in the past have predictable positive reactions in the future, and I definitely won't regret, wait a minute, is that an even more giant Borisov statue? Son of a...
Take that, you stumpy little dim-witted toad!
What? Who do you think you are?
I'm Guybrush Threepwood. People don't always recognize me. That's why I carry this!
At the start of Monkey Island 2, you're in a pretty good place as returning hero pirate Guybrush Threepwood. You got stacks of cash, a cool new coat, and I think what's supposed to be a beard? Anyway, things are looking up right until the game's 3rd minute, in which you're robbed by a local gangster named Largo Legrand.
Please, not my new coat.
Maybe I should cut you one out of cement.
That seems like reason enough to take down Largo, but he's also placed an embargo on the island, stopping all ships from entering or leaving. And if Phantom Menace taught us anything, it's that blockade-enforced trade embargoes lead to bad things, such as episodes 2 and 3. As Guybrush, you therefore respond the only way a hero can, by going on an elaborate quest to make a Largo voodoo doll, tracking down items like this gob of spit on the wall.
Yuck.
That's disgusting. I'm going to be extra mad if this thing backfires. Despite being made of old wigs and wall spit, this voodoo doll actually works. Though it works so well, Guybrush starts bragging about how he's the guy who killed LeChuck the Ghost Pirate back in the last game.
That'll teach you to mess with the slayer of the ghost pirate LeChuck!
Largo demands proof. Guybrush produces LeChuck's still living beard that he's been carrying around this whole time, because mind your own business. And apparently, this is the one thing LeChuck's former lackey Largo needed to resurrect his fearsome ghost pirate boss.
The most fearsome pirate of all time will soon sail the seas again!
Whoops.
Whoops indeed, Guybrush. Now LeChuck is back to get his revenge. There was no way of predicting that was going to happen, except for reading the title of the game. What's worse, LeChuck is now a zombie pirate, not just a ghost pirate, which means he can touch things, slobber everywhere, and smells terrible.
Guybrush Threepwood is finished!
Good work, Guybrush, and that beard is weak. Yeah, that's right, I said it.
In Game Boy Advance RPG Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, the mustachioed plumbers travel to the neighbouring nation so nice they named it twice Bean Bean Kingdom. They're there to face off against evil witch Cacletta, which, I mean, fair enough with a name like that. And early in the game, Bean Bean Kingdom Ambassador Lady Lima asks the bros to fix the sewer system in Bean Bean Castle to prove their identity as the world-famous Super Mario plumbers. I mean, to be fair, they do look a bit weird on the cover art. Best to check. The point is moot because after they complete the work for a reasonable fee, parts and labour, it's revealed that she wasn't Lady Lima at all. It was Cacletta in a cunning disguise, and repairing the sewer has allowed her to steal the valuable wish-granting Bean Star that she's been after. This kicks off a sequence of events that ultimately results in the destruction of Bean Castle Town, the most populated settlement in the kingdom. Honestly, the one time the Mario Brothers actually do some plumbing and this happens. Maybe do give up the day job, guys.
They say it's a wasteland, that it's dangerous, that only a fool would search for something of value here. Then perhaps I am a fool.
A very wise man once said, even the very wise cannot see all ends. And who's going to tell Gandalf he's wrong? You? Don't make me laugh. Nowhere is this wizard wisdom more wise than in Borderlands 1 and 2, in which you doom the people of an entire planet to chaos and oppression because you failed to foresee the unintended outcome of your actions. In Borderlands, you are a fortune-seeking vault hunter scouring the planet of Pandora for a legendary hoard of precious ancient alien technology, aka the Vault.
The contents of the vault are rightfully the property of the Atlas Corporation. But you, you belong to me.
In the finale though, when your efforts lead to the unlocking of the fabled vault, you discover the vault isn't a treasure trove full of valuable alien gadgets, but actually a prison full of horrible alien monster. Because shooting stuff is your best and only solution to whatever life throws at you, you manage to shoot and kill the horrible alien monster. But your space guns are no good against the wider catastrophe caused by the opening of the vault, which is the triggering of planet-wide growth of a priceless purple mineral called iridium. See? Gandalf was right. Even he couldn't see that one coming, and he can summon giant eagles.
Soon, the rare and valuable mineral emerged all across Pandora. Its appearance attracted many, including the Hyperion Corporation.
So by the beginning of Borderlands 2, Pandora is an even more oppressive wasteland than ever, with the beleaguered Pandorans living under the rule of the mighty Hyperion Corporation, led by the Borderlands celebrity villain, Handsome Jack.
You want to stop the greatness that is Handsome Jack? Well, come and get me.
Yikes! Sorry, Pandora. In my defense, I thought I was going to get really, really rich.
My name is Alex Mercer. I'm the reason for all of this. They call me a killer, a monster, a terrorist. I'm all of these things.
Saving the innocent prisoner of an evil biotech corporation is what we in the hero biz call a no-brainer. So how is it our fault if it backfires harder than a Lambo with a potato in the tailpipe? At the start of Prototype, Alex Mercer's origins are a mystery to him. All he knows is that he woke up in a morgue and can now consume people to gain their memories. Hey, we've all had nights like that, am I right?
I'm not coming over there.
After escaping the morgue, which belonged to bio-research firm Gentek, Alex discovers files on his laptop that show someone else being held at Gentek headquarters. To make matters worse, she's a young girl. That's all the motivation a hero like Alex needs to storm over to Gentek and bust some heads to get her out.
Elizabeth Green.
But wouldn't you know it, although it seemed like the right thing to do, it transpires that this girl, Elizabeth Green, is worse news than the stuff you get in your Facebook feed.
Time for waiting is over.
After beating you up and setting a bunch of new infected she made out of dead soldiers on you, Liz starts to unleash her own strain of the Blacklight virus on Manhattan, infecting countless civilians. And a few days after that, she sends another one of her hunters to kidnap Alex's sister. Probably wishing you hadn't bothered now, hey Alex. Well, at least you doomed all of Manhattan, so that's something.
Where is she?
She's with us now. Thanks for watching this video about the 7 times you thought you were doing the right thing, and it was kind of the right thing, but then it all went horribly wrong and everything was much, much worse than it started out. Speaking of great decisions that will definitely not backfire, why not watch some more videos from us, Outside Xbox, that's up here, or from our lovely sister channel, Outside Extra, which is right down here. All right, nice one, cool. You know where this would look really good? It's like, if I could just, how am I gonna do this?
Hey, you said I wasn't allowed to do that. How come you get to do it?
I'm allowed to do it, Andy. What? I'm powerful enough to control the curse within
That's what you
this
said about
skull
that
thing.
sword. Look how that ended up.